So silver and gold today, guys, are starting to see a bit of a pullback right now, right? A bit of a drop in the markets. And for my last few silver and gold updates I've done on the good old YouTube land, I've talked about how for trading purposes, for short term, I'm actually expecting to see a bit of a drop right now. I think I even titled the video silver and gold, or especially the silver, reversal coming. And that's exactly what we're getting right now, right? We're getting actually a pretty nice reversal out of the markets right now. And but traders, when we're looking at the actual market itself, right? When we're looking at the actual any market out there, it's important to try to understand where are we actually coming from, right? Where are we coming from when it comes to this, and where are we with things, right? Because just a foundational understanding of how markets work, okay? And this is where trading, if we just stop focusing on all the other things, that doesn't matter to us as traders, right? So for example, what I'm talking about here is that a lot of times we could be focusing on a lot of indicators. What's the CCI doing? What's the stochastic doing? The RSI, the MACD, the Kelter channels, you can name all these things that we can focus on. But if we just bring it back to simple analysis, let's bring it back to very, very, very simple analysis of how do markets actually work 99% of the time, or 95% of the time, right? I say 95% of the time because every now and then it just does the abnormal thing. And what am I talking about this here, right? So what am I talking about here is this, is that whenever the market makes a move in a direction, there comes a point in time where we're going to see what? We see a bit of a pullback. And then after a bit of a pullback, or after a bit of a drop in the markets, then we go for another big move up. And then we go through a bit of a sideways movement. This is called what? An upward trend, right? An upward trend consists of higher lows. Now, if you've been around for the markets for no dirt, John, tell me something new. But if you understand the higher low perspective of what an upward trend is, what is that? That is periods where we actually have a bit of a drop. Now, in this case, a bullish moment. And we have a period through here, right? So there comes a point in time when we do get that bit of a drop, which is now a pullback. A pullback is just simply the terminology with a pullback, guys, is it's just all about seeing where the trend is, and then seeing and then having these short-term little drops in the markets, which creates higher lows, right? Because a higher low is created by the swings in the markets there. So after a period of time, after we start to spend, let's actually change this color to, say, a blue, right? After a period of time where we go for a while, we never know exactly where, but if it's been going up for quite some time, then there's going to come a point in time where we actually get what? We get the pullback, and then after the pullback or the short-term drop, then guess what? Then we see another move to the upside. Makes sense? Now, I say this is the way the market works, because what can happen 5% of the time is the market will go up like this. It'll just do something like that. It'll just go up like that. It'll just go up like that, right? Generally, when you get these big moves without very good pullbacks, they're generally called bubbles, right? And then generally what happens is you generally get like a really big pullback here. The reason why I'm bringing this up here is because it's actually even in yesterday's video, right? Yesterday's video, I'm saying, guys, we're probably on a short-term level. We're probably going to see a bit of a drop in silver and gold here, because we're not ready yet. It's not ready yet to have a really big move. And what I mean by that is this, right? Look at this here. So if we have a look at what the market has done so far, we can see that the market has what? It had a move up through here, it had a move through here, and it had a move through here. So these are what's called upward moves, right? And then we have sideways, pullback. We've now just gone through what? Possibly another pullback, right? Or no, possibly we're starting to see another pullback or another bit of a short-term drop. But I do believe in the big picture things, guys. I do believe that this is just a short-term drop, just like this one back here, right? Had a move to the upside, then a short-term drop, and then a move up. Now we've gone through a short-term drop before we continue the upward trend. So the short-term drop, how far is the silver going to drop to? A good rule of thumb is 50%, right? So it could actually even have a nice pullback down to, or nice short-term drop down towards these, say, 50 to 60% level through here, which is that next major level of support. But again, it's just a nice little upward trend, right? So that's what I'm saying there, guys, and the reason why I'm saying this is because whenever you're looking at any market out there, just ask yourself, have we been going in a direction have we been going up for a while? Have we been going down for a while? If so, it's probably the wrong time to be getting into it, right? Because why? Because a lot of amateurs a lot of amateurs who don't understand the stuff I'm talking about will wait for the market to go up. But if the market's going up for a while, what inevitably is going to come? We're inevitably going to get something like this, aren't we? We're never going to get a bit of a pullback. So what amateurs do, because they don't understand simple analysis like this, they wait for the market to go up. Then they start to buy up here, and then the market drops, and then suddenly, like the market's rigged, and then they use all these excuses like the market's rigged and all this sort of stuff. It's not rigged. It's just because a foundation of how markets work is just that. That's the reason why, guys, for me personally, and that link in the description there on the free trading course, I teach you my trading system. My trading system, I wait for this period here to try to jump in on the next move to the upside. Move over now through to the gold market. Gold, complete and utter false breakout to the upside. Complete and utter false breakout. Look at this here, guys. So you can see here, complete, look at this here, straight up to the upside. And then now we actually broke down. And when I started this video, I said we're not ready yet. And what does that not ready mean? If we go through a really big bull move, then we need an equal amount of time to rest, to what's called refuel, before we go for another move. Let me explain what I mean here. So if this was the bottom here, and this was the top up here, right? That'll be the low to the high point, right? Now let's look at this here. Let's look at this here, right? So that means if that was the move up, then roughly anyway, it's not always exactly 100% exact on spot. But if I'm looking at this of how much fuel, how much sort of time we need going sideways or a bit of a short-term drop before we get ready, is I would say back here, right? So that's actually going out to now. When is that going out to? That's going out to, is that June? Yeah, around about June. So probably around the middle of June is probably what I'm looking for. So I'm not looking for a big crash out of gold, no. What I'm looking for is that this is just a short-term breakout. And the reason why this was a short-term breakout, because we hadn't had enough time going sideways to what's called refueling, right? Because whenever the market goes sideways like this, guess what? It's now building a lot of energy, building a lot of fuel. Because once it actually does that, guess what? Now we're actually breaking to the upside. In phase number 2 and 3 in that free course, guys, I give you, I talk a lot about trend analysis and this time thing here, right? Where we need a lot of time going sideways to refuel to then go for a big move. Now when we go for a big move, we've released all this energy. Now we need what? We need a bit of time going sideways to build a lot of energy to get ready to go again. Make sense? So that's the only reason why this is happening right now, guys. It's not a big drop, but where I am expecting a lot of volatility out of these markets from here for when it comes to the silver and gold market from here. So both silver and gold, I'm very bullish. But right now, on a short-term level basis, anyway, traders, we're expecting this thing just to pull back a little bit. And remember, this pullback, this little drop in the markets, as you would call it, is just the market rebuilding a lot of energy to go for that next move once again.